Alright, so now let's start with the project. So the very first thing which we need to do is to create a Next.js application. So for that, you can either use the terminal or you can use the inbuilt one which you have within the code editor. For this one, I will be using VS Code. So I have the terminal open and let me just redirect to the specific directory where I want to create the project. So over here, make sure that you have Node installed, which is kind of obvious, and using the command of npx create next app, which will allow us to create our Next.js application, and we can name it one second as Notion Notion single page or anything like that. So this will create the Next.js application, and after it's done, we can open it up within the code editor. So I think it's done. Let me just open the same page using the code command, and let's open the project. So there I have it, the project, and using the inbuilt terminal, we can, let me just shift it over here, and I think I should zoom in a little bit for you to see. So using the command of npm run dev, we will be spinning up the local server which will run the Next.js application. So I think it's already up. Let's take a look. And there we have the application. So I think we can clear up a few things. Well, for this case, let's actually keep it simple. So within the pages folder, we have the index.js, which is actually the page that we're seeing right over here. Let me just adjust it first. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that in case the code doesn't seem like clear in the video, you can always increase the quality using the media player, the YouTube thing. So make sure to do that if the text is not that clear. Anyway, now let's actually do a bit of cleaning. We don't require this home CSS. We will keep the image for the time being, and let's actually remove everything that we have after the head tag, the closing head tag, which includes the entire page, the main tag, as well as the footer. So if we do that, and if I save it, we are going to see a blank screen. And I think we should also remove the reference of the style that we just removed. So if I do that, there we have a clean blank page. So over here, you can change the title to be of anything that you prefer, doesn't matter. Oops. As well as the description to this meta tag, doesn't really matter. And now let's actually start with the layout thing. So essentially what we need to do is, keeping the final version in place, we need to have an image, we need to have a title, and then we will be placing the links. So let's just construct the dummy structure of the entire page, and then we will work on the Notion end in order to consume the data from that page or like any page and to display it over here. So we need three things. We need the image, title, and a link. We will be using the same thing while mapping over the array. So right over here, we can place in an image tag as such. And let me just comment it in fact. And let's first place the title and all. So over here, we can place the h5 tag, which would be the title, the page title. And then we will be placing in the links. And for the time being, we can just place in a single one in such a way which would redirect to any specific page. We are just constructing the dummy stuff and all, and let's just place it as such. So if we do that, we should be seeing the page title as well as the link right below it. Now, the other thing which we can do is we can just place in some dummy styling. So within the app.js, right over here, the default Next.js application, it is importing the globals.css file, which is this one that we have within the styles folder. Now the other thing is we can remove the home.module as we are not using it for this project. So we can just remove it. And within the globals.css, you can just go to the description of this video in order to get the stylings. As I do not want to waste your time writing all those from scratch. So you can just copy and paste them over here. So after we do that, and if we get back over here, there we have the title and the links being styled. And the last thing that we need to do in order to style the entire thing in the intended way, which is as such, is to get back to the index.js, and on the main div element that we have right over here, which is wrapping the entire page, we can just pass in the class name and set it to be of container, as I have already added the styling for this specific class. So if we do that, and if we take a look, there we have the styling, which is perfect. So now it means that we have everything that we need in order to display the content on this page. So now in the next video, we just need to consume the data out of a Notion page and display it right over here.